Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the first of this week's lives with myself, Jack Ravel. I'm going to be bringing you some epic people this week. Super excited. But first, today we have the wonderful Jamie James. Now, Jamie and I, we go back a bit. We've worked together a few times in the past, and we connected basically after doing a photo shoot down the south coast. He's a fantastic photographer and a super nice guy, and we basically hit it off just from the beginning. We just hit it off, and it was just a bromance, if you want to call it that, from the beginning. So ever since I have been coaching, Jamie's actually been one of my closest clients in terms of I've been working with him, alongside him. You know, there's things that we've been doing together that are it's just fantastic, and we've helped each other grow a lot. So I'm so excited to have him on today to talk about what he's up to and his journey and all the things around that, and basically his lockdown learnings and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, fingers crossed he'll join us soon. But as always, if anybody has any questions, or if anyone wants to ask Jamie or myself anything, hi Andy, then we can obviously get your questions onto Jamie, and we can make sure that we ask him those questions. So yes, what else do I want to tell you? The weather's beautiful here today, another absolute gorgeous day, and hopefully it won't. I'll be able to get some sunshine today. But anyway, Jamie's here. Let's bring him on. Here we go. Fingers crossed the Wi-Fi keeps going. There he is.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How you doing?
Oh man, so good. So good to see your face.
You too. What's going on?
Mate, nothing. Oh mate, I'm just enjoying the fact that it's the first of the month. There is a lot of excitement around the first of the month for lots of reasons, but also because I get to see your face. I haven't seen you in like what, a long time, because of lockdown and other things going on and travels, and you're all over the place doing your thing. So man, it's really good to see your face. How have you been? What's been lockdown like for you? How's it been treating you?
Lockdown life has been really good. It's made me realize that nothing's really changed for me. I don't go out to the shops a lot, or restaurants and things, because I'm always out in the countryside and stuff. So yeah, not a lot really changed. And yeah, I've learned a lot from it as well.
Fantastic. I'm just going to say I love your plant game in the background there. You've got some strong foliage going on there, which is always nice. I've tried to bring one into my own. I kind of need to find a place for this one here, like here somewhere, maybe, just in the background. Maybe I need to put up a shelf. But Jamie, talk to me about, for those of the people that are watching that maybe don't know who you are, do you want to just give us a roundup of who is Jamie James?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a filmmaker, photographer for outdoor and adventure. I've been many things before that, but right now that's what I am. And I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but for right now, I'm enjoying it so much.
Perfect. And what have you been up to? Have you been working on anything exciting in the time we've been on lockdown, or have you been doing any of your own projects, kind of keeping yourself busy?
I have. You've been helping me with some projects and some new stuff that we need to catch up on as well. But the main thing that I've been doing in this whole lockdown is working on myself, which has been really nice.
Amazing. So tell me more about that. What have you been doing to work on yourself? Because it's something that I have asked a lot to me. It's like, how are you working on yourself, or how do I work on myself? And it's quite a broad question, because it can mean anything. And it really depends on what you're into, and also where you want to go and what you want to sort of gain in your life. So tell us about kind of where you were, and then like sort of the beginning of lockdown, and then kind of like where you are now, and like what's the bridge that you've gapped, or the.
Okay, so I've always been super into kind of self-development. And I think what lockdown has done is, for me personally, it's been like a month-long weekend. Like, do you know that feeling you have on a weekend where all the pressure's off, and you've still got things to do, but you're not on any time schedule, and I'm more relaxed. Well, every day has been like that for me, and I've been doing things on my own time and doing things that I would normally do on the weekend every day. As like work's dropped off, new things are coming in, but I've had a lot more time. So and thanks to the government for giving us a little bit of money. It's just been really
Yeah, always helps a bit of free money, you know?
yeah. But firstly, before we get into what I've been up to, I want to talk about the concept of time, that this kind of idea that every day has been a weekend, and that's changed my whole kind of outlook on things. Because I think as things are starting to kind of be reintroduced and go back to normal now, on a Monday like today, I mean, I got up at 3 a.m. this morning to go and do a shoot with a buddy. Really cool shoot with a really cool photographer. We had a Land Rover Defender and a model. We were off in the New Forest.
Was that this morning? I saw that on your Insta story. That was like, that was this morning?
Yeah.
Jeez, wow, that's awesome. Man, that was really, really cool. If anyone hasn't seen it, go and check it out. It will be there still. It's really like, I thought that was from like a shoot ages ago that you were just like reposting. No, that's cool.
No, yeah. So, yeah, so Monday comes along and I'm like, right, okay, it's a working day. I've got to like check my emails. I've got to go and like actively look after my clients or find work, or I just kind of feel the need to be busy between 9 and 5. And then after 5, I relax and I'll still do my work, but I'll do it in a different kind of mindset.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because I have no 9 to 5. I get to choose my hours and my shoot times depending on what's going on. And I think I've just been conditioned into the 9 to 5, yet I'm out of it. So I was like, why am I still doing this 9 to 5 thing? And I'm really struggling, even like today, to not be working and then have time on the weekend off. It's just opened my eyes to the concept of like this whole, the weekend time and the weekday time. And I'm working on trying to feel like it's the weekend, but every day.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think, you know, you and I are both freelancers. We both work for ourselves. And normally the sort of the stuff that we do may involve working with other people who have more of a structured lifestyle. But now the structure is kind of all up in the air. And it means that, you know, people can do work here and work there and work any hours and that sort of thing. But I think if you break it down into what you are finding, I think it may be the fact that you haven't got a routine as what you used to have back in, you know, before lockdown kicked in. You had a routine that was kind of like kept in place by maybe other people and other factors. But now, because you've got that's not in your life anymore, you're sort of having to create your own routine and your own structure. Is that right?
Yeah. Although I have a really cool new routine now, which kicks
Tell
off.
me. I love your routine. You keep me motivated with your routine. So yeah, hit me up. What's the new routine?
So I'm doing flow training from Mike Chang, and the concept is so there's some flexibility, some mobility, some strength training, breath work, and meditation.
Cool.
All down into an hour. But the whole principle behind it is to practice being relaxed whilst doing really challenging things. And there's so much to talk about on that, but like just getting used to the feeling of being calm when you're doing stressful things has been a real game changer for me at the moment. I always used to.
How has it helped?
I always used to work out to like hip hop and things. And well, this is just one element because there's meditation. There's habits in here that I'm doing every day. Like I wanted to stretch every day, meditate every day, breath work out. I would probably do like one of them, or I'd skip this, skip that. Firstly, this has just got like the whole package in one, really enjoyable. I've got accountability with him as well, which I found out is massive for me. But so there's the habit thing, but I used to be a personal trainer and I was super into working out, fitness. And I love working out to hip hop and like beast mode. I used to be well into it. And I actually think that I used to get out more reps and things because of the music, getting this real state. But what I've learned is that state was like a fight or flight kind of state. was like a fight state. And because I was working out every day, I got really into being able to tap into the fight state really easily. So say something would happen, like my laptop would freeze or break when I'm editing, like my body can just really easily flip into that fight state and be like, oh, beast mode, like, God's sake, like, this is rubbish. And completely flipping that up and working out with no music, just concentrating on the breath. I'm getting way more used to just being calm all the time. I can actually get really good. When you connect your breath to your movements, you can get way more in. And yeah, there's so many other benefits from it, but just being used to being calm is like, thing like my laptop freezes and I'm just not bothered by it. I wait for it to load or whatever.
That's so helpful for, I mean, listening to that, I mean, I could use some of those tips, because there's times when I write a list to do for the day and it gets to like midday and I'm only just getting one or two done, and I sort of think, shit, I'm not going to get these done. But actually, if I had some sort of routine to be able to, you know, get myself chilled and get myself down to a level where it didn't affect me as much, then it could definitely help going forward. Where did you find this stuff? How did you come about with all the sort of breathing and the exercise and the stress relief and that sort of thing? How did it come about? Okay,
so let's go back to why I'm into trying to cope with stress.
Yeah.
I would say like I'm a pretty chilled out guy, but I actually think that I'm not, and I just used to avoid all stressful things. Like I just used to be traveling on the beach and chilling out with friends and doing things that I love. And the problem, it was amazing. I was just kind of, you know, go with the flow. I used to be called Jammy James, like it was so jammy, everything would just kind of like work out. But the problem with that was life would always like throw you a curveball, and things would happen and you can't avoid them.
No.
And I really couldn't cope when things went wrong. I just had like no practice in like coping with anything. I'd get super stressed out, super in my head about that. So I kind of went on the journey of like, okay, if I can't change when I kind of serve up some shit, then how can I cope with that? I just wanted to be like a boss at like being really zen.
Yeah.
I mean, things like that. So that's kind of what started my journey. Did the whole Wim Hof thing for a bit, the Wim Hof breathing, yes, which is very cool.
Mr. Wim Hof, he's quite a staple in that industry, isn't he? He's like taken a whole concept and just like owned it. For those of you that don't know who Wim Hof is, Jamie, please give us just a quick, brief analysis of who this wonderful man is.
Okay, so I don't know his story, but he's just an absolute legend from Amsterdam, who they call him the Iceman. And he teaches people how to connect to different systems in their bodies. And he can fight flu off in a matter of hours. He can stay in cold water. Well, I think he was like 64 recently. He stayed in water for 4 hours underwater. He climbed Everest in his boxes. What? Through these states that he gets into through breath work.
Gosh.
Yeah, that kind of showed me that breath work is super, super powerful.
Absolutely. It's something that, it's like anything. It takes time to develop. And it's interesting. I'm reading a book at the moment by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. And it talks about success in anything. And it describes there's a philosophy, I'm sure you've heard of it, called the 10,000 hour rule. And a lot of people will go into something and give it a good bash, you know, they'll give it a good go, but they'll get 1,000, 2,000 hours or something out of it. When you start pushing that up to like sort of 3,000, 4,000, you get great at that, but you're not like the best. Then you sort of hit the sort of, you know, 8,000, 9,000 hours, and you're still pretty good, but you're not like number one. And they reckon, and they've done studies on this, if you are someone who can do something for 10,000 hours in your lifetime, and that's a lot of time if you think about it, you will more or less become an expert at that and basically just be the number one person. And they've studied like sportsmen, businessmen, musicians, people in all sorts of arrays of life that practice things for up to 10,000 hours, and they are the best in their game. So yeah, I think that for someone like him, he's proof in the pudding that it works. You know, if he's done all these amazing things with his philosophies and put them into tact, then, you know, it makes sense why people like you and I are looking at it and go, well, it works for him and he can climb Everest in his boxers. Why can't I just not get so stressed about my laptop crashing?
I think the thing that you said about the 1,000 hours made me think is you have to do it every day.
Yeah.
Like, it has to become a habit. And sometimes you're not going to feel like doing it, but like, I'm in this for like the long game. Like, I can't wait to see how I am at breath work and all these crazy moves we do after a year, and my flexibility. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be able to do the splits because like I'm stretching that every day. So yeah, it's just like a long game. There's no quick fix, and you don't really notice things changing. I think just like over the months and the years, you'll like something will happen. Like you'll be in a panic because you can't find your keys, and instead of just being like, oh, where are my keys? Oh, everything's going wrong, and just stub your toe, and you get into that rhythm, and everything starts going wrong. You'll just take a moment and think, where were they? Maybe I can leave the house without them. You think differently about things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And what you said about habit and discipline, it's so important to have something like that in your life around specific things you're trying to achieve. Because if you don't have that, you're not gonna achieve anything. It's like saying, oh yeah, one day I'm gonna buy a house. Okay, but unless you put like a time frame on it, and you know how much the house is going to cost, you know where it's going to be, and you know what sort of house you want, there's no criteria around what you actually want in the first place. So therefore, how can you expect it to come? How can you expect to track that? Because what if you meet them the next day and they're an estate agent, and they're like, oh yeah, I sell houses. You're like, oh, yeah, I don't really know what, you know, and you don't know what you want. Whereas if you knew what you wanted, you could tell them straight away, and then they might be able to find your perfect house. So it's knowing what you want and then implementing it into your life on a day-to-day basis that will help you get to where you're looking to go. Yeah, man, I think that's super, super awesome that you got into that. And I think it's really, I mean, I've seen you change, you know, exponentially in the time I've known you, and the stuff that we've worked on together has been so awesome because we've grown with each other. For those that you don't know, Jamie and I have been sort of working together on the coaching front for quite a while now, and it's amazing how when I can coach someone, but they can also coach me as well in many, many respects. And it's such a beautiful thing to have when you've got that connection and that synergy between two people. But one of the main things that we've been working on is obviously your glasses and the special business that you're doing with that. Do you want to share a bit of knowledge about what you're doing there and the exciting things around those plans?
Yeah, so one of the things that I'm working with you is one of the things that I've struggled with in my life is never finishing something. When it's like a film that I'm making or something, and I haven't got a deadline and have all these ideas, and I'll be a bit of a perfectionist about it. So I had this idea. I was actually in Iceland, and I had these glasses, and the arms had broken off because we were 4x4ing, and I put them in my hood and they got smashed up. And I just used an elastic neckband to like repair them, just because I had no other glasses, and I just stuck them actually onto the frames. And I started wearing these lots around some of my clients in the yoga retreats in Greece and things. And they're like, oh, where'd you get those? I want those for my motorbike. I want those for swimming. My climbing friends were like, oh, that would be great. Like for climbing, I wouldn't have to wear my glasses. So I think we just decided to like make it into a brand and bring it to life. And since then, I've got some really cool designers in London bringing them to life. I've got some guys working on the branding, all sorts. So, and that never would have happened if you hadn't sat me down and said, okay, so when do you want to launch? And I'm like, oh, I've never thought about that. Like, it's just an idea. And so we picked a date and we worked back from that. COVID destroyed that. date, but it's still very much moving up. And yeah, working back from a date and seeing, oh, it's actually not that hard. This week, the only thing I've got to do is that.
Yeah.
That's what you'd really, really help me with.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it comes down to that exact point you made. It's what's the smallest possible thing you can do today that's going to get you further or closer to your goal at the end of the tunnel, or the top of the mountain. And it's exactly that. If you try and like bombard yourself with loads and loads and loads of stuff all at once, it's going to be overwhelming. And when it's overwhelming, you won't do it because it's not easy, right? Whereas if you pick a realistic date, as in sometime in the future when you want to achieve something, and as you said, work backwards and then figure out what it is you actually need to do to get to that point, and then go, right, well, I can do that on that day, that on that day, that on that day. And actually, it's a really easy schedule to keep within, your own time frame and everything else that's going on in your life. But I think unless you've got that end goal and that end date, there's no pressure. There's no reason to want to do it quickly, and there's no reason to actually have the initiative and the motivation to get on with it as well, which I think is something that people who try and set goals but don't put the parameters on it fail at. And that's why they kind of think, it's why New Year's resolutions never work, because New Year's resolutions are just an up in the air sky. I'm going to lose weight this year. Right, great, good for you. But when are you going to lose weight by? How much are you going to lose weight? How much are you going to lose weight? How are you going to lose the weight? How are you going to know you've lost the weight? It's those questions you ask yourself. And when you've got those questions, you can go, oh shit, yeah, okay, now I can actually make a plan to complete those things and get them done. So, yeah, man, also, into this because it's simple and it's tried and tested. But like, I live my life by this. And I try and always set goals for the future and do, small, medium, big goals. Like what we've done together, your goals were a big goal to begin with. But then we broke it down into like a medium goal and then like the smaller one, like sort of daily or weekly goals you could do. And look where you are now. Like I've always wanted to ask you actually, where do you think you'd have been today if we hadn't have met and started coaching together?
I would have been like still thinking about deciding whether to do things or not, and I think the accountability, like there's been times when we're going to have a call and I'm like, oh crap, I haven't done my homework from Jack. Like the accountability has been amazing. Like I need to do this now, and I'll just message someone because I need to get it done and I won't overthink it, and it's just so valuable to have. Like I know what to do, but yet I just don't do it for some reason. Yeah. So it's really, really good to have you on board with that.
And it's the same for you to me. Like when I know that I've got you coming up for a coaching call, I'm like, right, what's JB been up to? What did we talk about last time? How can we make sure that he has, continued on this journey in the right direction rather than sort of teetering off the path? And so I then get into I start thinking of creative questions and things that are going to that are personal to you, that's going to get you motivated to achieve your goals. And so, yeah, like, as I said, it's helping each other grow in that respect, because every client's different, and every time I come to speak to somebody, I have to think of a question or something that's going to help them specifically, because not every question will help everyone. So it's like listening to your language and understanding that, your rapport with me is going to be different to Tom, Dick and Harry, whoever else I'm working with, and that's part of the relationship, and that's part of why I feel coaching is so beneficial to people, because you actually do get such a personal service. It's fantastic. Jamie, before we head off, I wanted to do what I always do, which is a quick fire question round of things that could be quite fun for people to find out about you. Are you keen to get involved?
I'm well up for it.
Mate, amazing. So idea is I just ask you a question. First thing that comes to your mind, let me know, and we'll crack on through them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. First question. What is the place that you're missing visiting the most in the UK?
Wales.
Wales. Okay. Nice. Why Wales? What's in Wales?
So much like beautiful space. And not being able to just go out into nature. Like it's like they've closed the gate to like my playground. There's places around here, but I just feel like I can really get out into the middle of nowhere in Wales, and it's actually quite close and so beautiful. So yeah, really missing going to Wales.
Amazing. What's your favorite app that you're using at the moment? or application on your computer or your phone?
Okay, so I got three, but I use them as one. Is that okay?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so it's my flow training
Yeah.
because it's follow along, and all I got to do is press it on, and then I just follow along. And then I then go into the Wim Hof breathing app and use his
Yeah.
app. For you have to pay for that, and you can just follow along. And then after that, I go into Sam Harris's Waking Up, which is if you've been trying to get into meditation, this is like the hands down way about it, because he explains what's going on and why you're doing it, and just lets you know that okay if like you're finding this boring or you don't think anything's working, and it's really encouraging to go through it. There's like a 50-day kind of stage you go through. So yeah,
Nice.
invest in that and it will change your life for sure.
I like those. I like those. Good one. What is the best Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus series you've been watching in lockdown?
I got so much to talk about Netflix. We'll have to have another call.
We'll have to do this again. What's the one that stood out for you?
I haven't really been watching it for some reasons, but it's got to be some like kind of like documentary. Like nothing stood out. I've been doing a massive detox from it.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, like let me know if we want to dive into that sometime. But
yeah. Chris just asked, who was that? So it's Sam Harris. If you type in his name into the app store, you'll see it. It's a meditation app, and I've also used it in the past. It's really, really good. It's very practically designed, so you can actually, you can follow along with it, and it's similar to Headspace and Calm and those other ones. But yeah, it's practical. It's good. It's really, really good. Can you describe yourself in 3 words?
Floaty, adventurous, and zen.
Like it. Very good. What would you tell, or what would you say to your 21-year-old self?
I was going to ask you this.
Well, you go first.
I would say don't take life too seriously. You get so caught up on stupid little things that in the bigger picture don't matter and you'll never remember. And this is all just like one journey that can be a good one if you decide it's a good one, or it can be a bad one if you decided to. So just try and enjoy yourself.
Nice. For me, it's believe in yourself and have as much fun as you possibly can.
Nice.
End of. Just do anything and everything that puts a smile on your face, because life will be remembered for those reasons. What is the first thing, other than your flow and everything else, that you do when you get up in the morning? Is there anything you do that's like straight away?
That is literally the first thing I do, apart from grab my headphones for it. So I'll grab my water, like have some lemon water with a little bit of Himalayan sea salt in there on the walk down to the cliff.
Brilliant.
But it's that before I eat or anything.
Love it. What is the best book that you've read recently or ever, and what was the message that it gave you or taught you?
Okay, so weirdly, I think The Miracle Morning by some who it was by, but that was a game changer for me in terms of just doing that morning routine, spending time on yourself before your time gets taken by everyone else.
Yeah, I completely agree.
On like a more like spiritual side, the Untethered Soul, and again I can't remember who that was by, but I just remember my mind being blown, like, oh right, okay, yeah, you're right, this is weird. So definitely check those, Untethered Soul and The Miracle Morning.
Like it. There's some good recommendations. I've got a list of like so long of the ones I need to check out. What would you say your greatest strength is?
Bench.
Like it.
Does that count as an answer?
I mean, it can if you like. That's quite unique. I've not had that one before. That's good. Okay, give me one fun fact about you that maybe I don't even know, but you think is something that's a bit random.
My name's not Jamie James.
Is it really not? What's your name?
You have to pay to find out.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really tell if you're joking or not, but that's brilliant. I like that. Very, very, very funny. Good. What you like it? Like it. And where is the place that you're looking to fly to? Or where would you like to fly to once we're allowed to leave the country and everything goes back to the way it was once was?
Costa Rica, straight off the bat.
Like it.
I've got some clients that have a house out there, and I just feel like I was made to live somewhere like that. So I'm going to go and see if that's true.
Like it. Yeah, good. Go and do a recce and see if it's where you want to be forever. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
I think it was what I touched on earlier, and not to take life so seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to have fun. It's really powerful when you don't take it whimsically.
I like it. I like it. And last question. Do you know what day of the week it is?
I do. It's Monday, and the only reason I know that is because my birthday's on Friday, so I'm counting down.
Like it. Like it. Well, look, from me and from everybody else watching and listening, happy birthday for Friday, first of all. But also, thank you so much for coming on the live with me. It's your first live you've done, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try to
very, very special. I've got a few people doing their first lives with me, so I feel quite special for that. That's great. But mate, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time and sharing all of your things with us and everyone watching. If anybody wants to get to know you a bit better or get in touch or just give you a bit of love, how can they find you? Where's the best place?
I'm gonna click on the picture of me probably and go over to my Instagram. That's probably the only place you'll be able to get hold of me.
Like it, man. Like it. Thank you so much. Look, and until next time, or maybe next time I see you, I'm sure I'll speak to you very soon, but hopefully I get to see you in person next time. Yeah, peace out, my friend, and I'll chat to you soon.
Thanks, man. Thanks so much.
Take it easy, brother. Bye. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. That was the Jamie James. I still don't know his real name. I'm going to have to find out. I don't know if he's joking or not, but it's quite funny that he's been calling himself Jamie the whole time I've known him. Anyway, lovely, lovely, lovely seeing him. Super lovely guy. And as he said, if you want to find out more about him, head over to his Instagram. It is at @IamJamieJames. And yeah, you can chat to him more. But anyway, peace out. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Ooh.